Rambam, Maimonides' teachings. Um, Today we conclude actually the laws of acquisitions, business law, very detailed. We are laws of mechira, sales, acquisitions, chapter 28. So the following rules apply. When a person tells a colleague, I am selling you a parcel of earth, right? Fit to sow a core. A core is an amount, right? A produce, right? It's an amount of, a core is 30 saw, a portion of land, 50 cubits by 50 cubits, 2,500 square cubits. That's a foot and a half by foot and a half. So it's, multiplied by 1.5, right? Is required to sow a saw. So it's 30 times that land. So the portion you have land that is 75,000 square cubits. Whoa, that's pretty large. One second. 75 square. One second. How much is 75,000 square cubits in square feet and square yards? Well, I'm curious what that is. Please convert that into acres. So it's 18,000 square yards. Wow. So it's almost 4 acres. It's approximately 4 acres. Got it?
Square cubits.
Huh?
75,000.
Square cubits
75,000 square cubits.
is about 4 acres.
That's under 4.
Yeah, just under 4 acres, right? Okay, interesting. So that's how much land you need in order to get that kind of produce, right? If the land contains small hollows that are 10 handbreadths deep, even if they do not contain water or rocks that are 10 handbreadths high, they are not included in the above measure. The rationale is that a person does not want to pay money for one parcel of land and have it appear as 2 or 3 parcels. So, yeah, a person doesn't want that because a person wants to grow things, right? That's what a person wants land for, right? They want to grow things. Yeah. So a purchaser acquires these rocks and hollows as part of the parcel of land fit to sow a core without paying for them, right? Because remember, the person's buying this in order to grow something. So all of these things, the rocks and the hollows, are not going to be something you can grow. So he's getting that on top of, right? He's not paying for that. If the hollows and rocks are smaller than 10 handbreadths, they are measured together with the remainder of the land. Right. So 10 this is a handbreadth, right? This is a handbreadth, right? This is a cubit, and this is a handbreadth, about 3 to 4 inches, right? So if it's smaller than that, then that's included. I guess because that's considered insignificant amount. right? So therefore it's included in the sale. If the olives and the rocks are smaller than 10 handbreadths, they are measured together with the remainder of the field. Okay, when does the above apply? When together the area of all the rocks and the hollows was no more than the area necessary to sow 4 kabin, and was contained within an area where it was at least 5 kabin could be sown, and was contained within the majority of the field. 1 second. This is 1/45th of the entire field. So it's almost like 2%. Any larger portion is considered too great a loss for the purchaser to forfeit. So all up to almost 2%. That's actually a little more than 2%. Sorry. A little more than 2%, like 2.2%, right? Is the most that you could forfeit. Anything over that will not be forfeited by the purchaser, right? It's too much rock, too much hollow, and therefore is not included in the sale, in the price of the sale, in other words. If the area of the rock and the hollows is more than the area necessary for cabin, and the area is very spread out, or it is contained within a lesser area than one of the cabin that could be sown, they are not included in the measure of the field, even if they are not 10 handbreadths high or deep, because of the amount. In the following situations are questions that are left unresolved by the Talmud. The majority of the area necessary to sow 4 kabin is contained in a small portion of the field. A small portion of the area necessary to sow 4 kabin is contained by the majority of the field. Or the rock are in a straight line, in a circle or a triangle. They are in a shape of a star or a jagged line. In all of these instances, because of the doubt involved, we resolve the principle: one who desires to expropriate money, calling must prove his contention. Second. Not exactly clear what that means, why that is so. Similarly, if there is earth on top of and the rock beneath it, or the rock on top and the earth beneath it, there is an unresolved doubt among our sages, and the above principle is followed, right? So it's not so clear what that law would be. I guess because there's earth there, and possibly you could maybe sow the field. I don't know if that's what it means. Doesn't explain. If there's one large rock, even if it's only a large, it is only a large as the area necessary to sow a quarter of a cob, it is not included in the measurement. Okay. If the rock is next to the border of a field, even if it's very small, it is not included in the measurement. Since it borders the field, it cannot be used to sow grain. We begin the measurement of the field from it and not from the border of the field, from that rock. So the way it sounds to me that in some instances, the rock, you could still use it for sowing. I'm not certain of what that means exactly. If there is some earth between the rock and the boundary, there's unresolved doubt among the sages. Okay. When the seller tells the purchaser, I am selling you a parcel of earth, like the area fit to sow a core, right? That was the key, right? I'm selling you this for your vegetation, that you're growing stuff, and this is the amount that you can get from it. He has the experience because he's done that, right? So that's what the whole issue is here, right? I'm selling you a part of earth that's fit to sow a core. Isn't that what he said? What did he say different before? He tells him, I'm selling you a parcel of land fit to sell a core. Same thing. Okay, what's the difference? Even if the hollows are 10 or more handbreadths, even the stones are 10 or more handbreadths, they're included in its measure. Like the area. Base core. anyway. Ah, okay. There's a difference. The first one he's selling you, I'm selling you that it is that it makes a core of produce, right? That amount, right? Which is in 4 acres, it would be to make that amount of produce. Now he's saying, I'm selling you parcel of land, an area like the area. It's not exactly, right? That's the difference. Base core, not base core, like a base core. In other words, it's not exact, it's not precise. Then it's including everything. Because he's not being precise in what he's saying. When a person tells a colleague, I'm selling you parts of land fit to sow a core, as measured by a rope, the measure must be exact. If the land is even slightly smaller, the purchaser may reduce the payment proportionally. If it is even lightly larger, the extra amount should be returned to the seller because it's by measurement. The first one was the amount of produce, right? So that's why it's going to exclude certain things that will not produce, right? Up to a certain amount. Second one was similar to this, not exactly you're going to get this core of this amount, somewhat that amount. So then that includes everything. And the last one here is by measurement, then is by measurement. So if you get less, you pay less. If you get more, return the more. That's what it means. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Thank you, folks. Word went out that we're only on good. Yeah. Yeah, so Rambam will only be done on Zoom and YouTube, right? Chumash Rashi, I'm not certain exactly what to do. So someone has their hand up. I see, but it was removed. No,
It's you. It's yours.
me. I have my. Oh, you're right. How did that?
You have a question.
I have a question. I guess, or I have a statement to make. Yes, I guess that's what the hand up was. I have a statement to make. Again, Rambam will be only on YouTube and on Zoom. Chumash and Rashi. The reason is because Facebook we didn't have for 2 months to go live. We got it back now. I'm afraid that I don't know what it is. They're seeing that because it's 4 times a day. Chassidus, Chumash and Rashi, Tanya, and then Rambam. And they said something about like being, I don't get it, like too often on Facebook. They took away the right to go live. So, yeah, this might be, conspiracy theory, right? We just learned it today in Chumash and Rashi, right? Lavan's sons. So the conspiracy theory that, I don't know, Jewish stuff, maybe they don't want. Maybe they don't want Jewish stuff, too much. It's too Jewish. Facebook, they don't want, Zuckerberg, such a Jewish sounding name. He doesn't want to be too Jewish,
Really?
But it's for sure got to do something with, because there's people post a lot more than I do, and they're not taking off. So who knows? All right, folks. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.
And a happy Thanksgiving to one and all.